All right, making sure everything's fixed. Sorry about that. Hoping that y'all can hear me loud and clear. Let me know if everything is sounding good. Is it loud? Is it real loud? That's what I'm trying to make and see. Double checking, trying to see what we got going on here. All right, how about is that a bit better or is that a little bit too low? Do we need to bring it up some? About right here? All right. Okay. Sorry about that. So what's the motherfucking deal, man? We're going to talk about the Rockets versus the Spurs this evening. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, while we bullshitting, I already got the top live at 5, and let's just get that intro cracking, man, and let's go ahead and get in it to win it. Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. So what's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Ed Honcho, and this is Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So that means we're talking about all sports, but only Houston. So with that being said, let's just get into it tonight. We're talking about the Rockets taking on the San Antonio Spurs this evening. Now, you know how we do this thing, man. First, we always make sure we start off, man, show a little bit of love back, see who all is in the mix. And so, man, make sure you shout out where you're from. This is the roll call, the Sauce Nation roll call. So you got to represent from where you're at. So if you are from Houston, man, shout out your side with pride. You know what I'm saying? If you're not from the city, man, shout out your city, state, town, hood, set, click, galaxy, you know what I'm saying, whatever, province, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a multitude of things you can claim, however you get down, whatever you want to name. Just make sure you shout that out. I'll make sure to send a little bit of love your way. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for tuning in to some flavor. And I know it's a lot of things that y'all want to talk about. There will be a second sauce. This is just the Rockets pregame, man. So I know y'all know what y'all really want to talk about. But, hey, you know what I'm saying? We just going to chill. Shout out to Deer Park, Cleveland, Baytown, the Milky Way, Candy Bar, or the actual location. You know, shout out to both. Let's see, like I say, we see Wise, Houston Homer, Seth, Ashmel, Braylon, Real Family, Jimmy T, Rigo. I was thinking he's switching up on me. What was that? Jimmy T, Rigo. I said, that's a Seth. Kellen Boys, what's the motherfucking deal? Matthew, what's the motherfucking deal? Rasha John, what's the motherfucking deal? Isaiah, what's the motherfucking deal? So, like I say, it's going to be going down the Galaxy, Honcho's basement. I wish I had a basement. Do they have basements in Texas? I mean, is that really a thing that's going down? What's up, El Lobo? Always good to see you. Shout out to Clute, man. We'll talk about a couple of things, man. Y'all know how we start this thing off. First with the roll call, and when it comes to the Rockets pregame, you know, we always got to talk about a couple of things. Well, not a couple of things, but 3 things. The 3 points to ponder. Well, I'm looking real red right now. I'm gonna fix that. That color looks a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I look crazy. But anyway, fuck it. We got business to handle. We can't worry about how motherfucker looking and shit. So, the first point to ponder going into this evening's game, you know what I mean, is, like I was saying, don't let the record fool you. You know, right now there's some injuries they're dealing with. LaMarcus Aldridge won't be in the mix. What if LaMarcus was from Lamarck? That would be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi is going to be out, and Ginobili, old Manu Ginobili is going to be out. Ginobili won't be playing this evening, and so they're kind of in the mix. They've kind of fallen from grace from that 3rd seed. I think they're somewhere around the 6th seed, I believe. I think they're somewhere like that. And it's looking pretty interesting what's going on in the West. There's a lot of situations that are changing up that were, you know, look a little different around the All-Star break. But I say, you know, don't let that fool you, because you have Kawhi, I believe, coming back this week. I don't think Aldridge will be out that long. I think you also have I'm not sure how long Mount is supposed to be out, but if this Spurs team makes it into the playoffs, they are a dangerous foe to contend with, you know. So I'm telling you, you know, don't let the record, don't let the fact that, you know, they're not hitting 50 wins this season. You know, this ain't the Duncan Spurs. You know, there's a lot of injuries. You know, you got to respect what Popovich brings to the table. As much as I don't like him, because you know what I'm saying, he's succeeded when we have not, but we have overtaken him at this point. They're still a force to contend with, man. And when they get back healthy, that's not a team you want to have to deal with finding their stride in the playoffs. Now, do I think that they can contend with us fully healthy? They'll definitely be an interesting matchup, but I think the Rockets just have too much going. They have too many lineups that they can use to solve any issues we have when facing opponents, when we're lacking or somebody's just not on. There's too many solutions. I think it's like the Rockets are like some fucking Legos, man. You can just kind of make different shit out of them, and it always works. Well, not always. Sometimes you can make some weird looking shit that doesn't work. But we're not gonna let the Spurs fool us. I mean, this is still a good team without a lot of its key pieces. As long as you have Popovich working the wheel, it's always a tough go whenever you have to challenge the Spurs. Let's get into the second point to ponder. And the second point is the haters keep asking, man. They keep looking for reasons still to doubt the Rockets. You know, the Rockets don't have that crappy first quarter, because that's all it was. It was just one really bad first quarter in Toronto. They don't have one bad first quarter in Toronto. You're talking about, what are we, 2.5 games, two games, 2.5 games above the Warriors in the mix. And then people then I think people start saying something, you know, with the Warriors still being so close, you know, people are always gonna make excuses. But I feel like people are still looking for reasons to doubt. You know, we had another slow start against Dallas, but then, you know, we took care of business. What should have really been a blowout, but you know, it was what it was. We are for real, even without our MVP, without the MVP caliber guy. This team is still a serious threat. So I don't know what people think is going on. I don't know. Maybe they don't watch our second unit to realize that we can still score with anybody. We can still compete with anybody, with or without, you know, some of our key pieces. We got guys who can fill in nicely when called upon. But let them keep talking shit, man. Like I say, I hope this is fuel for the Rockets' ears. I hope this is what's the deal, man? What's the motherfucking deal? You know what I'm saying? I think this is fuel for the Rockets' fire. You know, even though they're still atop the league, they're still doing what needs to be done. People are still doubting, and people are still hating. You know, old baby ankles Curry over there. You know, I don't know what he's got going. But we ain't worried about them. We're just one game at a time, and tonight we got to take care of the Spurs. But we're not going to doubt the Spurs, but the Spurs should definitely not doubt us. And then let me see what y'all talking about first, because like I say, you know, you guys are the fresh ingredients. It is all about y'all. Let me see what kind of craziness y'all talking, man. Man, I know y'all saying easy W, man, but you can never ever count. You can never count the Spurs out of the game, man. The Spurs always got some shit shaking, man. Like whenever it comes down to playing the Rockets, especially, they get up for those games. I mean, you look, you don't ever discount them. But I mean, if we can get out to a nice lead, I'd like to see the starters rest. I'd like to see some of the guys who don't normally get a lot of minutes. I'd like to see them get some PT. So, I mean, if we can secure a nice lead early on, like what we really should have did a little bit earlier against Dallas yesterday, but it is what it is. You know, teams are going to get up to play the Rockets, man. They're going to get fired up to play the Rockets because it's the best team in the league. So there is never going to be, like man, I've said, there's no such thing as an easy win, man. It's going to be a tough game every time the Rockets strap up their laces, man, because people are like, hey, that's the number one team in the league, and that's what comes with it. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. We don't got a crown yet. You know, we want the ring. So heavy is the hand that wears the ring, and we're looking for that ring. We're in hot pursuit of a addition to the cabinet. You know, in Rockets history. You know, like the hallways in the fucking high schools. You know, you get the fucking big cabinet. We want to add that to the shit. Exactly. So the third point to ponder, though. What a Shaq Kush sighting. That must mean the Rockets really finna get a blowout tonight. I'm finna go play the lotto. What's today? Monday? What lotto is today? But the third point to ponder is the most important point to ponder. And that is the cheese stands alone. And initially, before I knew Harden would be activated tonight, I did make these. So I was asking, would we be able to afford to rest Harden? But the reason why I say this is because I'm just looking at the situation. I feel like, allow him time to rest, relax. If it's not a team that's threatening us, if it's not a hindrance to our position, if the knee is bothering him a little bit, give him a little bit of rest, even though he's probably not going to want to do it. I'm sure he has the option. I'm sure he has the choice. I know that they rested Nene so that he would be available for tonight. So, maybe these guys do look at these things because they matter, a division game and things like that. So these things matter, man. I think that Mike D'Antoni's doing a good job of keeping these guys aware of how important every game is. I don't think they're taking anything for granted. But I'm saying the cheese stands alone is that I think James Harden is in such a good position in the MVP race that he could relax a game or two. I'm not saying on the court, but if he was able to rest and still be, heavily considered the favorite at this point. But that's just my opinion. You let me know what y'all think about that. So yeah, though, man, it's I feel bad for the Spurs. I mean, as much as I don't like the Spurs, I want the Rockets to be in the mix because I want the Rockets to have beaten and defeated everybody at their peak. So there's no excuse. Well, they can't beat the Spurs or they can't do. Well, the Spurs didn't have this shot. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. I want to hear, hey, what's happening, Hottie? What's the motherfucking deal? Like I said, I don't want to hear the nonsense from the Spurs fans. I don't want to hear any of the shenanigans. I don't want to hear, not even from Spurs fans, but even the national pundits, because you got Michelle Beadle, you got fucking Skip. Now come on, Skip. Now come on. And Skip gonna be out there fucking hating. Oh, they can't beat my Spurs. How you damn? I don't understand that. A Dallas fan and a Spurs fan. Dallas has a basketball team. What's the fucking deal? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how long the Curry injury is. They need to relax him, rest him, because that's what, like they said, it's fourth time this year he's dinged up the same ankle. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Talking about Xochi, man. Xochi Xochi need to go hang out with Will Fuller like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just go run some routes for Will Fuller. Maybe he can pick up just a little bit of juice, Xochi will be ready. Xochi is just a little, he's slow chi right now. You know what I'm saying? He's just not quite. Xochi just isn't quite fast enough. And I think that if he can just pick his speed up just slightly, I think he'd be a capable player in the NBA. He seems like he just needs a little bit of work. And, we can't expect the world of him. We can't really expect him to be Yao Ming 2.0. But we have to expect that he can be a capable player. 'Cause he has all the necessary tools. It's just like his pace seems like he moves at a step slower than everybody else in the game. So I'm not sure what it is. Stem cell LeBron? Ah, yes. He said, don't rest if they played against us with no Patrick Beverly. The Rock's on pace. But now, okay, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get into some word marking here. All right? I want y'all to put your name on it. If you don't know what mark my words means means to make a bold prediction. I mean, really put your name on it. Make a statement that you feel is going to happen. It has to be something out of the ordinary, not a scenario that takes place every night with the Rockets. I mean, you got to really make a bold prediction, not a score prediction. I mean, you got to pick a player, give me a score or a stat line, I mean, you got to be able to really. You got. It has to be something interesting, okay? And that's what I want to hear. You know, that's the mark my words for this evening. I want to know how y'all feel. Who do you guys feel is going to be the player of the game? Will Harden see significant minutes, or will he rest early? I mean, y'all got to give me. Y'all have to give me something that I can work with. Honcho could be a shooting guard. Nah. No. I'm be like, look, if I was in the league, I want to be who is that? Who is that? They showed the video of Mozgov missing the dunk. I'd be like, that's what look. I want to be that. That's the look. I don't want to do nothing. I want to sit on the bench and get paid ridiculous amounts of millions of dollars. Or I want to be a coach's son and never lose my spot on the team because my daddy's the coach in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. That's what I got. So we got Mac Manhot, LeBron will be rocking it. Man, we're going to talk about that real soon. We're going to talk about that. Man, I don't know if I got any videos of me playing basketball. Shit, you got to say, like, last time I was actually hooping consistently, it wasn't camera phones and shit like that. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers still had the fucking VCR fucking things, but they were like the little small tapes and shit. You know, motherfuckers wasn't camera phones and shit like that. You get a little picture, that bitch looked like you took it with a potato and shit. Say Gordon going for 40. All right. Yeah, I'd like to see. I really, like I said, I don't want to see Harden get too much PT tonight. I'd like to see him rest. I'd like to see CP3 rest tonight too, if possible. Like I say, if they can get a nice little lead going, that would be kosher. Gordon is still look. I mean, look at the suspiciousness. look, I don't want to do it like that. Here you go. Look at the suspiciousness. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me if Gordon looks suspicious. That's all I'm saying. 64% from the free throw. Shit, like we might have to swap you out for Capella. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. That's a interesting celebration. What y'all got cracking over here? What's y'all already texting in on the South Slide, man? What we got? Well, I don't know what the fuck that is. Y'all spamming to the South Slide. Shenanigans. What's the motherfucking deal, Asian Pikachu? What it do, Pikachu? Shit, I'll probably be too tired to shoot fucking 50 free throws, man. I'd probably be 38. I'd be like, all right, I'm Gucci. Can I put the rest of these free throws on layaway? You predicting a Spurs blowout. Okay, you saying a Spurs blowout by how many? I mean, we talking 20? We talking 25, 30? I mean, give me a number. Put a number on that one, Mac Man Hot. Let me know what you're thinking. Or the Warriors have the Rockets on their mind and they know in fears. That's why they talk about us. We're in their heads for the first time. Oh yeah, man. I'm telling y'all, the Warriors. I mean, I know that's what people really want to talk about: Rockets versus Warriors, because no, we're not even concerned with really what happens at this point, because we know that we can compete and defeat everybody else. The conversation is the Rockets versus the Warriors. And the Warriors have been talking about us more than ever. It's gotten to the point where the Rockets are just, we're focused on maintaining the number one seed. It's not even about the Warriors. It's not even about anybody else. We were built, yes, to defeat the Warriors. That was the game plan in mind. But at this point, we're ahead of the Warriors. We're not going to see them for a while. And so we're focused on being the best team that we can be. So when it comes down to it, we play our brand of basketball, and they have to adjust to us instead of it going the other way around. And I think it's working, Other than, you got to think about it. The last two Rockets defeats, even though they came within the span of 42 days of each other, were by a total of 5 points. A total of 5 points. So all I'm saying is, it's going to take a whole lot. People want to say, well, you know, the Oklahoma can play. They can play playoff basketball. No, they can't. Not if they don't fucking make it. You know, all these teams can slow down. The Rockets can play basketball at any pace that any team wants to play it at. And people are sleeping on the Rockets' ability. They think that they're this one dimension. Oh, they just jack up a bunch of threes, and that's just what's happening. There's a reason that that's successful, because Brooklyn jacks up a bunch of threes too, and they're not as successful at it. But people don't want to sit here. People don't want to acknowledge what the Rockets truly bring to the table. But it is what it is, man. Like I say, it is what it is. Well, the Soft Sports Studio. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this bitch up one day. Yeah, I might make that shake. Look, if you want to see it, you'll have to. Well, you already follow me, I think. So you have to. Y'all have to follow on the Instagram, and I'll take a picture of this bitch or something like that on the Instagram and share it. You know what I'm saying? Found the Mavs much more objectionable than the Spurs. The Spurs are they're a team that, as much as I dislike them, you kind of have to respect them for the way that they've done it for so long. You know, they did what was necessary. Because when it first came down to it, you know, as we had the upper hand when it came to the David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon situation. And then, you know, they went with their game plan. They got fucking Tim Duncan, and they put pieces around him that led them to a position that they needed to be in. And so I can't be mad at them for that. I am slightly envious. I respect the way they did it. I respect their process. But fuck the Spurs. So that's just my opinion there. So you say blown out by 19. All right, that's a bet. So I'm trying to tell people that you have to acknowledge the fact that matter of fact, let me give y'all some. Let me make sure I get y'all this raffle action. But like I say, man, you know, it's Monday. All the sauce has been reset, and Cavity Creep is the winner from last week. So we'll start this first one off 1,500, and I won't even hide the command, so y'all make it easy. We'll make it 5 minutes. And just for hanging around, I will shoot y'all some. There we go. But here's the thing. You get sauce just by being in the stream. You know, for however long you're in the stream, you accumulate sauce, and then you can gamble it to increase the amount of sauce that you have. So there's Cavity Creep. You'll be the guest moderator starting next Sunday. So that'll be the deal. So the next Sunday's roundtable, I'm sure we'll probably have some roundtables before that, talking about some things that are going on. Oh, you don't want to moderate? Oh, shenanigans. I'm trying to think who was in second place. I can't remember. We'll figure it out. But the thing is, the Rockets are the real deal, and Golden State knows it. See, for the first time, Golden State isn't sharing all the spotlight alone. They're not hey, they're at the top of the hill. Can anybody even look in their direction? Can LeBron defeat Golden State? Now it's some other names in the conversation. Now it's not just Golden State. Now it's slowly turning from, hey, can the Rockets, could they catch up to Golden State? Could they make Golden State have to earn it? To the point where, well, can Golden State catch up with the Rockets? It's going to be soon. Well, is Golden State ready for the Rockets? Can they beat the Rockets? And I'm telling you, man, people are going to be really surprised, because the thing is that Houston just doesn't get the love. That's the reason they're not getting these all-stars. And I'm not saying that they're not getting all-stars. I'm saying because CP3 should have been an all-star this year. Clint Capella should have been an all-star this year. But it's all about the big fucking names. People don't pay attention to Houston because the media doesn't give Houston love. And so that's why we are exactly, we're kind of put in the corner that we're put in, man. So it is what it is. So I'm not even really worried about that, man. And like I say, eventually when the teams start dwindling down and they're running out of options, they're going to run out of options of teams that they can pick to go against the Rockets until there's no teams left. And the Rockets stand alone holding the fucking trophy. And fucking everybody's going to be talking about, well, next year, can the Rockets repeat? I don't know, because LeBron's going to go. They're going to start looking for all kind of reasons, man. They're going to look for reasons to talk shit. But I have a question. I have a freaking question, because now it's got me thinking about something. Now, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. But you know, after Akeem got him one, right? What happened the next year? Yeah, like I say, with the fucking Astros, exactly, just won the shit. Motherfuckers probably acting like, well, why are the Astros at the White House? What do they do? Motherfuckers probably don't even know the fucking Astros won the fucking they hate. Exactly. And so, you know, you got that backdoor action. I'm curious. I'm really curious about, do the Rockets really push through, knock this one out? I mean, I feel like the Rockets are capable of winning the championship, like no bullshit. And what if LBJ does come? You know what I'm saying? One, I think you smash on any and everybody who gets in your way. But what happens to that bench? You know, you lose a lot of that depth. I mean, are you going to be able to retain guys at a cheaper rate? You know, that would be willing to play who you lose. I mean, you come to a very interesting situation. You know what I mean? I'm not really in the bring LeBron camp. I want Harden to have his own legacy, you know. But at the same time, this is the kind of NBA that we're in now. You know, it's a situation where you got guys. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, Golden State gets knocked off this year. They go try to re-up. Somebody else is going to be like, well, fuck it. I can go join Golden State too, and we'll make them just that much better. Like, that's the kind of league that we're in now. And so I feel like, shit, you almost got to do what you got to do, because it gets to a point where everything's so lopsided. How can you compete? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Yes, we will be talking about free agency a little bit later on. I want to say probably be about 8:30 stream. Probably be an 8:30 stream. I got everything ready to go for it, but just kind of pick the time because I definitely want to check out most of the Rockets game. It may be 8 o'clock. It'll be between 8 and 8:30, so y'all will get the notification. It depends on how close this Rockets game is. If it gets out of hand early, then expect an earlier stream. If it's a little close, then expect a later stream. So that way it'll. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They fuck around and end up like Barkley. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. You got to be afraid of that. That's the problem you have to worry about. But I think you got those three motherfuckers together, it would be real hard to. And keep Capella too. It'd be real hard to deal with that shit, dog. I mean, who are you gonna stop? How and who? And it would be unfair. It would be preposterous. It would be a ridiculous situation. I don't even think I'd want to watch it until it came playoff time, because I'd be bored. I'd be this bores me. I don't want to watch this excellent display of Harlem Globetrotter-like basketball while wearing Houston uniforms. And I'm bored of these dazzling passes and high-flying dunks and assists and things. I don't want to watch this anymore. Motherfuckers start getting cocky, and you start seeing bandwagon fans like motherfuckers when they slid to Miami. You know what I'm saying? It would be all kind of craziness. I believe so too. I really honestly don't want LeBron. But I mean, if it happens, if things, I feel like this, and I've been saying this for a long time, man, for quite some time now. If the Rockets face the Cavaliers in the finals and we beat LeBron James will not be a Houston Rocket. If the Rockets win the I'm almost leaning to if the Rockets win the championship, period. If the Rockets win the championship, period, LeBron James does not become a Rocket. Doesn't even matter if we see him. If the Rockets win the championship, LeBron James does not become a Rocket. And the reason why is because LeBron doesn't want the KD syndrome. LeBron is very peculiar about. I'm learning this English thing. I'm getting it down. You know, English as a first language. LeBron is very peculiar about his image, and so he's not going to want to look like a ring chaser. Now he may be able to spin the narrative into, wanting to play with his banana boat buddies, and the beard. But I think that plays into a major factor, because I think people will add that, like with KD, people kind of let it go. But you know how the way people hate LeBron, that they'll add that in addition to the Miami thing, and they'll say what he did is way worse. I think that's how people will try to spin that. But if the Rockets lose, if the Rockets lose, they'd have to lose in the Western. They'd have to lose in the West. Because like if it was like the Cavaliers versus the Rockets in the finals, and somehow the Cavaliers won, then of course it would be no LeBron. So I mean, it would just really take the Rockets losing sometime before the finals, and LeBron would most likely be a Rocket. But I'd rather win the fucking championship and say fuck LeBron and never have LeBron in a Rockets jersey ever. So I'm really not even tripping on that shit. So yeah, it would be real ridiculous, man. I mean, here's the thing though. What would happen is you would have a whole bunch of motherfuckers who would be more than happy to take some pay cuts, and you know what I'm saying? He said the Cavs lose in the second and the Rocks lose at any point. Yeah, LeBron gonna be here. I'm telling you. I don't want it though, because I don't want that on. I mean, I'd rather not have the LeBron addition to it, because that's people start throwing the asterisks back on there and shit, and start trying to say, well, you only won because it's fucking LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Fertitta's he's about winning, dog. So I know he ain't tripping on it. Like, look, y'all if they put the right pieces in play, then you, Capella's gonna get paid regardless. They're gonna treat Capella right. Because Morey already talked about it. He's already said, first thing he said was that Capella can't price himself out of Houston. And they asked Capella about, being a pending free agent. He's just like, man, I think I've already got the decision made. Basically, I'm not even really worried about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all, man, there's no reason to worry about it. If yeah, we'll see what the Texans will point to. Well, the Rockets and the Stros, well, they've been around for a while. The Texans have to win something, though. They gotta. It's time, But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what's been shaking today. We're gonna talk about the news that has been going on with them. I was gonna crack this off, but it's that motherfucker really needs to charge. So I mean, y'all can text in, but it's looking ugly. I need to charge that motherfucker. It might die on us. The thing about it, like I say, it's gonna be real interesting, man. I think the Texans are really trying to make some plays, whether we feel, however we feel. Obviously, that these guys are worthwhile to them and upgrades. Well, hopefully, they consider them upgrades and not just fillers. But the fact that it seems that they're doing some things, man. Like I say, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna definitely talk about it. It's gonna be plenty. Man, I think I did say. I don't remember if I read it. I can't recall, but I remember you sending me a tweet. Or I think I just checked some tweets and I kind of like scrolled down a bunch because I had a bunch of notifications, but I don't know if I read them all. But I remember seeing your picture. I do believe I got to go back and look at it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. It's like I said, it's nothing to worry about, man. It's nothing to worry about. We're going to eat. You know what I'm saying, man? Look. All I'm saying, though, if y'all talk about EJ Gaines, wasn't nobody talking about EJ Gaines until after I was telling y'all about that boy in that cornerback video, the free agent focus on the cornerbacks, because he was interesting. I say the price that he got and the way he played out, to me, was the best option because he seemed like the most reasonable. He had, I think, the youth on his side, and his price range seemed the most sensible to me. Oh, what? Ryan Anderson ain't showing up. That he got that hip, man. Got a hip. Got that hip problem. Yeah, like I told them, look, see, I'm telling you, I'm spilling sauce on the text. They low key watching, but now on some real shit. I'm actually really interested in talking about some of the stuff, but we ain't gonna talk about it right now. We're gonna have an interesting sauce tonight. Like I said, we've hit the year mark, and it's time to do better. It's time to increase the flavor. It's time to make it much more interesting. Like I say, make it more interactive, and so it's about y'all, man. So like I said, I got to find ways to strive and bring better flavor. You know what I'm saying? Because the goal of this thing is to be the best, be the best sports, the most for the people sports show. I don't know. I got to figure out a better name for that. Not the sports for. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But like I said, we just really trying. Oh man, I'm glad you said that. Before we get up out of it, last time I forgot to do score predictions. So let's get on those. Let's get on those, man. Let's get on those. Oh, you said, oh, Butler. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Score prediction. We're talking about no Manu, no LA, no Kawhi. I think this team knows that these guys are coming back. I think they're going to play hard because they want to show that they're not out of it. They know that if they get these guys back, that they can really make a run in the playoffs. I think the Spurs are going to come out fighting hard against the Rockets. I think that they're not trying to bow out gracefully. But with that being said, the Rockets aren't here to play mercy on anybody. You know, they got a goal and they intend to get there. They intend to get there easily. You know, and they're waiting for one. They're waiting to conquer what everybody calls or who everybody deems to be the Goliath. But I think that we got something for them. And I don't even think it's on no David shit. I think that we can. I don't know if there was another Goliath. What else you would call a Goliath? But I think we can go blow for blow. We're worried about the big boys, man. We're tired of these games. But San Antonio in the recent years has done us pretty bad, and the Rockets have not forgotten that. So the Rockets will come out and play hard tonight. I'm going to call this one a Rockets sizable victory. I'm going to say 121 to 98. That's my prediction. So let's see what we got. We got Rigo saying 121.90. Oh shit, 121.99. I ain't even see that shit. That's a close. We said it's damn near the same thing. You gave one more point. 115.97. Ashmel, I got you. Hardness hobble. You giving the Spurs, man? See what happened last time you picked the other team. You picked the Raptors on us, Heidi. But I don't think we need too much Harden because they have everybody else out. Like I say, they have nobody healthy on the Spurs really. So here's my deal. Let me make sure I can check the live checks. I know a lot of this stuff in the live check gets missed. We got another couple picks. Houston Homer said 110 to 100. Okay. Not bad, y'all. Mr. Asian Pikachu. What it do? We got 119 to 99. Real Family said 117 to 110. All right. So, like I said, I know we got to play the rest of these games, but I'm ready for the shit to start counting. I mean, I feel like we're at the point where the Rockets have proven themselves more than capable to compete. You know, we kind of had to see throughout the year to think that to see what they really were made of. And I think that we've proven several tests. We've gone on several win streaks. We've shown that we can compete with the best of the best. Back-to-back nights. I mean, multiple games and with very few days rest, and still beating some of the best teams in the league on the road. Just doing it in a variety of ways with our stars, minus missing guys, having rotational pieces missing, I think we're for real, man. I don't think I know we're for real. You know, this is no longer the test period. The exhibition is over. We're ready to see the playoffs, man. We're ready to start playing for something. And I think these guys are still focused. They're much more focused than I am. I think they know they still got something to prove, that these games still count. And I expect the Rocks to only get better as these games go on. So I would definitely say stay tuned. Make sure you're paying attention, because this is our year. We had it for the Astros last year. This year, you know, we're going to take it for the Rockets. So with that being said, though, you know what I'm saying, we got to make sure y'all are tuned into the game. You got to make sure you're cheering, I mean, from early on. You know, if you know people who got tickets to the game, you got to make sure, hey, get your motherfucking ass to the game on time, man. Y'all motherfucking be slacking on the Rockets and shit. The Duran Davis. Boy, Duran is the coldest, man. Duran might be the best thing since Jordan. If you pass on him, that's like passing on Michael Jordan. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm saying about that. Oh, man. Yeah, that boy say 148 to 35. That's beef. Rasha John, yes, sir, I got you. I do believe. Did I get you? I want to say I did. So you go, we got 120. No, I didn't get you. I thought I missed it. 124. I thought I did. 105. I got your, mark my words. And Ed, man, you got 115. God damn. To 78. All right. I mean, look, I would not be upset or opposed to any of those things. You know, I'd be more than happy to see all that shit. Man, y'all, you think that y'all would be upset, man? I would be highly upset. We gotta ride, man. If Harden don't get the motherfucking MVP, somebody gots to go. Somebody gots to get fired. It's unacceptable. But like I say, y'all gotta watch. Like, what's gonna happen is they're looking for somebody else to put into the conversation. They're looking for somebody else to say, oh well, man, look, hey, this guy's been playing as good as James Harden over the last month. But who cares about the last month? Who's been playing as good as James Harden over the entire year, man? And that's the thing. That's what people aren't taking into account. That dude is the. It should be unanimous, but it won't be. Somebody's going to find a reason to vote for somebody else just because they hate on James Harden's game, even though you have no valid reasoning. Because like I said, people say, oh, free throws. You could take away all the free throws. He still leads in scoring. You know, people can look and they're going to reach, and people are going to do it. People are going to find excuses. There's going to be some people who probably still vote for fucking Westbrook just because they did it last year. They're fucking dumb as shit. It's going to be a lot of craziness, man, when it comes to dealing with this shit. I would love to see him get unanimous, but I don't think it's going to happen. But he should hands down win it. It shouldn't even be an issue. Anybody hating on James Harden at this point, like, ballots need to be exposed. At this point, if you have the ability to control somebody's future, their legacy and shit like that, your ballot should have to be like exposed. If you know what is it, these writers and things, well shit, you made a living off exposing your thoughts. That's the reason you have the ability to vote and do all this other shit. So your ballot should have your writing on your ballot should be exposed as well. You know, because this shit could be flying everywhere. Like I say, so this shit is ridiculousness, man, because I think you just have some real live haters out there. Just people just hating for no reason. Oh, man. Girl Scout cookies sound delicious. But with that being said, I'm going to, I remember that. They set him up. Remember the Alamo. They set LeBron up. Man, that's what I'm saying. You talking about Girl Scout cookies? We're gonna talk about that. Remind me to mention the Girl Scout cookies in the Kush Den this evening. So that's what we'll talk about that. But with that being said, Sauce Nation, yeah, I'm gonna hit y'all with the wink and the gun. Yeah, hey, Sauce Nation, what's going on? No, I ain't gonna do that to y'all, but Sauce Nation, what's the motherfucking deal, man? I appreciate y'all for tuning into the Rockets versus Spurs pregame show. I'm gonna have the sauce line charged up and ready to go when we have some secondary sauce. And like I said, it depends on how the game goes, man. If the Spurs are getting their asses handed to them by the Rockets as it should be, then we'll probably have an earlier sauce. If it's kind of a close game, then maybe closer to 8:30. So if it's, like I said, a blowout, looking like early, 8 o'clock, 8:30 if it's not. But with that being said, man, I shout out to everybody who fell through and showed a little bit of love. But I will catch y'all on the flip side of the coin, whatever that means. I'll get y'all up out of here. Nah, but that's a bit, man. I appreciate y'all following through. Catch y'all chunking up the deuce. Y'all stay saucy. I'm out.